Almost 25 years ago, something of a revolution happened in the fitness industry when an unusual looking fitness implement was catapulted onto the scene. Indeed, very much like a cannonball, only this one came with a handle. Many people thought this would be a passing fad, like the shake weight or jazzercise. But now, decades later, the kettlebell is as if not more popular than ever. What was once just a weird looking piece of exercise equipment, only found in sketchy gym basements next to a flickering light and a fellow named Igor, can now be found front and center in pretty much any mainstream fitness gym that you walk into. So in this video, I want to give you my top 5 reasons that people absolutely love kettlebells. If you're a beginner, this video should hopefully inspire you to give kettlebells a shot, to try some kettlebell workouts and to put them into your own fitness routine. If you're a veteran, my plan is to have this video to re-inspire you and maybe even help you take your kettlebell training to the next level. Let's dive in. Actually, before we get into those reasons, let me just tell you a little bit about myself, because you're probably wondering, who is this guy who looks weird and is talking to me with his face? Well, my name is Pat Flynn, and I've been doing this kettlebell thing for over 15 years. I've been coaching and teaching kettlebells for over 15 years. In fact, when I first became certified, not certifiable, but I'm both, certified under kettlebells, under the infamous kettlebell challenge, under the legendary Pavel Tsatsouline, I was the youngest person to ever pass that at the time, and since then I've trained everybody from G.I. Janes to G.I. Joes, Special Forces, mega monocle-wearing CEOs, but mostly just everyday people. And so I've got a lot of experience with this. I've written lots of books about it. Granted, I'm biased. I absolutely love kettlebells, but I'm biased for a good reason. I discovered kettlebells. They completely transformed my own approach to fitness, exploded my results in all the right ways, so I'm really excited to share these 5 reasons with you. The first and perhaps most obvious reason that people love kettlebells is because of their versatility. They help you to build strength, burn fat, and boost mobility and flexibility all in the same workout. No need for separate routines or a garage full of exercise equipment. The kettlebell is awesome because it helps you to train both explosive and dynamic movements, swings, snatches, all that sort of awesome stuff. You also get the powerful classic grinds with kettlebells, military presses, front squats. But the real power of kettlebell training, the real efficiency, I think, is unleashed once you get into kettlebell complexes, a form of metabolic resistance training where you string lots of different exercises back to back, performing them sequentially with little to no rest. So you keep the system taxed as a whole while cycling through different muscle groups and energy systems. If you're looking for bang for buck return on exercise investment, man, the kettlebell is really hard to beat. It is absolutely one of the most versatile pieces of equipment out there. The next reason people love kettlebells is because it gives you cardio without the treadmill. Now look, I'm not going to bash on running. I think running is cool, but a lot of people just don't like the long, slow cardio type of efforts. They don't like running on a treadmill. And what's awesome about kettlebell training is when you're using swings, when you're using single arm swings, cleans, and snatches, and you're running complexes and you're focusing on building strength and power, you get cardio, amazing cardio, almost as like a happy side effect. You train cardio without even thinking about it. And what's really cool about kettlebell training is you can use it to build both your anaerobic and aerobic capacity, and this will carry over to so many different areas of life. I'll give you a quick example. Just a few weeks ago, I ran a 5K with my kids. Now, I'm not a big runner. I kind of get bored running. I don't do a lot of running, but I was able to complete the entire 5K. I didn't get first place, don't get me wrong, but I was able to complete the full 5K with slickness and ease, my friends, and that's entirely because of the work capacity that I've built through kettlebell training. So if you know cardio is important, which it is, and you want to improve your cardio without even really thinking that you're doing cardio, you need to give kettlebells a shot. The next reason is a quick one, but it's an obvious one. The kettlebell essentially allows you to fit your entire gym in your closet. Even if you have multiple kettlebells, typically they take up less space than the average shoe collection. And that's a cool thing because kettlebells lower barriers to entry. And this is really important because a lot of people get caught up in getting in shape and pursuing their fitness goals because there's too many barriers to entry, too much time investment, too much cost investment, too much of a commute just to get to the gym. The kettlebells help to take all those barriers down. You can train right at home with intensity at your convenience. Doesn't take a lot of time, doesn't take a lot of space, doesn't take a lot of money. Kettlebells are super economical across the board. The next reason that people absolutely love kettlebells is because they come to discover that the kettlebell is the fitness minimalist's ultimate secret weapon. To me, minimalism is the ideal intersection between effectiveness or doing the right things on the one hand and efficiency or doing things right on the other hand. Now, here's the deal. Sometimes people criticize kettlebells because they'll say, look, this obviously isn't the best tool for this particular job. Say if you want to be a mammoth deadlifter, you need to use a barbell. And fair enough, but here's the counterpoint. Most people, most of the time, don't care about being the absolute best in the world at one thing. They don't even care about being a competitive deadlifter or a professional bodybuilder. They just want to be really well-rounded. They want to be expert generalists. Yes, they want to be strong, but they also want to be lean, mobile. They want to have some real, visible, functional, useful muscle. And the kettlebell, my friends, can absolutely help you to achieve all that and in a super time-efficient way. The truth is, kettlebell training, while not being the ideal tool for any one particular job, is an amazing tool for covering all sorts of different fitness qualities, for improving yourself across the board with respect to general physical preparedness, that in some sense it is the sort of meta tool with respect to fitness generalism. So if you're serious about being a fitness minimalist and you're aiming towards the outcome of being a fitness generalist, the kettlebell is something you need to pay serious attention to. Okay, the final reason for this video for why people love kettlebells is because the results they give you are so practical and useful in everyday life. And this is especially true when it comes to results like grip strength, core strength, and posture. Movements, again, like single arm swings, cleans, snatches, farmer carries, amazing exercise, front squats, work absolute wonders for knitting you together, training you in an integrated and holistic way so you can just overcome all the challenges and stresses of everyday life. So many people, when they start training the kettlebells, say how much better their back feels, how much they've noticed that their posture improves, how pickle jars are no longer intimidating, how they can start the lawnmower now on the first, at least second try. All these funny but still very important things just start to happen and come together when people start exercising with kettlebells. Why? Because the kettlebell teaches you and trains you to move like a genuine athlete and prepares you for life, for the challenges that real life throws at you. One of the cool things about kettlebell training and why people love kettlebells is because the results show up in unexpected ways. Things just become easier. And in fact, a lot of people don't even realize how difficult things were before until they started training with kettlebells, and then the things that gave them trouble before no longer are actually challenging. So, right, if you're interested in real world, functional, useful results, I know functional is a cliche term, but we all know what we mean by it. The kettlebell is a tool, again, that you're absolutely going to love to use. But now I want to hear from you. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you already are using kettlebells, so please share your experience. What drew you to kettlebells? Why did you start working out with kettlebells? What benefits have you experienced since training with kettlebells? Please share your thoughts below. I think a lot of people will find them very helpful. And finally, if you need a place to begin with your kettlebell training, check out my obnoxiously orange book, Strong On. It will teach you everything you need to know, single and double kettlebell techniques, plus 101, yes, 101 kettlebell workouts that you can start using right away to build a truly awesome generalist physique. Strong On.